legend, another one of my heroes that I've met, and I haven't had the gall to say that. And he's here right now. I think he is. It's ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michael Sheen.
Hello. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm good. How are you, buddy?
I'm very good. You look like you're tuttying down on the floor at that angle.
Oh, I'm on a
You look
tiny
like
chair.
You're crouching on the floor.
It's just a weird place. I've been in a little squat for now an hour and 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Like a little Welsh Easter bunny, just squatting on the floor, ready to drop eggs for all the children.
That's exactly how you do it. Are you in the same room? Have you noticed it?
Yes.
Michael, how are you doing right now, and where are you?
I'm good. I'm in Upper Cwmtoch, which always used to be my comedy place name when I was growing up in Patal. But if I had to come up with a comedy Welsh name, I would always use Upper Cwmtoch, and now I live there. That's
really.
Yes, and I've just been releasing a bat back into the wild. That is literally what I've just come from doing. we found a bat in one of our rooms here. It was just sitting on the floor. And I've become a dab hand now because we do have bats in the air. We don't know where they are. We think they must be near the roof somewhere, outside. And if we have a window open, because it's been quite warm the last couple of days, we had a window open just for a little bit during the day, and one got in. And we've had a few like that, and so I've learned now what to do. So I got a little box, and I put holes in it, and I put a little T-shirt in there, and I put the bat in the box, and then at dusk, you're supposed to put it on top of somewhere quite high, and then take the lid off, and then it's supposed to fly off. So that's what I've just been doing.
That sounds incredible.
Amazing.
If that could always happen in this situation during lockdown, it would be fantastic, because I'm struggling constantly to try and find things to do. But although there seems to be plenty, I know it's only week 3. My girlfriend's got me cleaning a lot, which is cool. It's actually been brilliant for my mental health.
It does look very clean there behind you. It looks very tidy.
This part. It's just this part.
Just that one box. Yeah, if you can see around me, it doesn't look tidy or clean at all. We've got a baby who's almost 7 months old, and she is keeping us quite busy at the moment.
Well, that's the thing. I would say I've got a similar situation. I've got a pug here that we're trying to crate train, and it's like having a baby. We have a routine because of it, and it's been very, very received. He's been a little star, to be honest. Now I want to ask you, like I've seen you do so many incredible things for the NHS. And recent documentaries I've seen you do as well, and you've always been very vocal about how important the NHS is, and more than ever, we need to have people banging that drum. And just now, what message do you have to the people that are working tirelessly to help combat this virus?
Well, I think, you can see the outpouring of love and respect with, when everyone goes out and claps. It's very moving seeing that. Obviously we are incredibly grateful to everybody who are quite literally putting their lives on the line. When we hear about emergency services running towards the danger when everyone else is running away, they're going into the danger every day, that when they're going into work. I've spoken to people, to nurses and doctors who, even though they feel in some cases like they don't have the sort of protection that they would like to have, they are still going in and putting themselves in harm's way in order to save the rest of our lives, and it's incredible. It's incredible. It's very difficult to put words to it, really, I suppose. I mean, I've always been incredibly moved by the idea of the NHS, the vision of the NHS, the ideal of what it is and what it can be and what it should be. But to see what's happening during this pandemic it's unbelievable. I think it'll take a long time for us to be able to process what people are doing. Not just people in the hospitals, you know, in the NHS, but people, you know, on the front line in all kinds of places, in women's refuges, in hospices, in care homes, in prisons, in, you know, in homeless shelters, all kinds of people who are absolutely on the front line of this. And it's incredibly moving. And like I say, I think it'll take a very long time for us to actually process what has been done, what is being done, and how much we have to thank people for, really. And part of that gratitude and part of that love and admiration has to be to speak up for people, to make sure that they are doing the work they're doing in a safe context, that they are themselves protected. You know, to see doctors and nurses and midwives dying from this because they are, you know, there on the front line trying to help and save other people's lives is absolutely heartbreaking and, you know, and at times infuriating, that people aren't getting the protection they should have. So I think we have to show our love and admiration and thanks. And part of doing that is by vocally going out there on the doorsteps and banging pots and pans and whistling and clapping. But another part of it is to keep shouting and raising our voices and saying, these people must be looked after, they must be protected.
I completely agree with you. And especially when you mentioned that 8 o'clock clap for the NHS and support workers and the key workers, it's been incredibly unifying. Now that word has kept coming up throughout this live stream. How have you felt towards your family and your friends and people that you work with as well? Have you felt a yearning to reconnect with people? I definitely personally have this new appreciation for my loved ones and strangers. I desperately miss that connection that we have and that we always crave.
It's funny, isn't it? When we, if you know, I get a little bit of chance to watch television once the baby is asleep. And when you do watch something, if there's a scene or you know, there's stuff where people are just mingling like normal, it seems weird now. I think, God, that's going to be really strange when we can actually just wander out into the world, like the Munchkins in Wizard of Oz, and just sort of, you know, greet each other again. I wonder what that will feel like for people. You know, I had to go and do the weekly shop for my mum and dad today, and I was in the supermarket. You know, and you're amongst people there, but there's a wariness. You know, understandably, people are very nervous about, you know, getting too close and all that kind of stuff. And it does make you long for the moment, and who knows when that moment will come. And there's no button you can press, you know, I guess it'll be a gradual thing. But when we can move freely amongst each other again, and, you know, to hold someone's hand and to kiss someone on the cheek or to hug someone, and not be scared about what that might do. You know, when I do, my mum and dad put a plastic chair out on the driveway when I come to deliver the food, and you know, I sit there and we have a little chat before I head off again. And, you know, to see, you know, my mum wanting to hug me and you know, and how upset she gets. And, you know, I've seen photographs of a friend of mine's father kissing his grandchild through the window, you know, and everyone has seen similar things and is doing similar things. And it's only when you feel that something has been, the ability to do something is taken away from you, obviously, that you miss it so much and you start to value it. So maybe if nothing else good comes out of this, perhaps we'll come out of it with a newly discovered sense of the beauty of simple things, just being able to sit freely with someone and touch each other, you know.
Yeah, that's absolutely what I feel. I think one of my things over the last few weeks has been this pressure to create or to do something. Like I think I made some promises to myself. I was going to do this and do that in this free time, and you're a creative person. You create and you make. Have you felt an urge to do that, or have you really just let yourself go and really stayed within your own company and have been present in these times?
Well, I suppose the urge that I felt mostly is what can I do to help, and because I've spent a lot of my time and my focus over the last few years on the non-acting side of things in my life and being involved in different issues that I've wanted to be able to help and support people with and use what resources I have to help out with, then that's been my first urge really. So I've been, and a lot of the organizations and people that I've worked with over the last few years have been in touch and said, could you get this word out? Could you get this message out? And a lot of stuff to do with the NHS, obviously, as well. So at the moment, I'm trying to get PPE to organizations that might not have as easy access to it as others, and looking into that, alternative sourcing for that, and trying to maybe coordinate a bit of that if I possibly can. I've been, trying to support getting food to people, to nurses and doctors and people working in hospitals. And, there's a lot of concern around a rise in domestic abuse, domestic violence. With the lockdown, for a lot of people, home isn't a safe place. And as the support services around domestic abuse, domestic violence are having to cut back their services because of lockdown, because of not being able to, go out to meet people and that kind of stuff. The need for their services is rising. So that's been a big concern. So, trying to work and support people with that. So there's been a lot of that. In terms of being creative, I remember saying early on, I said to my partner, Anna, I said, I bet after a few weeks, people will start doing weird things. People are going to start doing things on social media that they're going to really regret. And I was sort of laughing about it. And then a couple of days ago, I find myself filming myself talking to a tree, doing a tree interviewing me. And I thought, yeah, maybe I've been inside too long now.
That's one of the things, though, is you're right what you say. I think after a while, we'll start being ourselves. And there's this huge thing on social media where we are trying to keep up with the Joneses or trying to have this life that you think you should have for social media. But right now, there's nothing to do but just be yourself. There's no Ibiza pool party to go and drape yourself over. There's no exclusive party to go to. We're just in our living rooms. We're all in this together, and I think that's special.
Matt, there's a lot of pool parties happening here in Upper Cwmtoch, believe me. Actually, you know what? One of the really, the other thing that I'm feeling a lot at the moment is an incredible gratitude for having a garden, being able to get out into a garden. I know a lot of people aren't able to get out into their own garden, and that with the nice weather that we're having as well at the moment, that is a wonderful thing. And our garden is sort of surrounded by farmers' fields, and the sheep are all in the fields around us, and they've been lambing fairly recently, so they've all got these. It's unbelievably cute. There are all these little lambs skipping around and jumping around, and they act like cartoons. These lambs. They don't act like normal things. I've never seen lambs before. It's an amazing thing to actually seeing them jumping and skipping around. So, that's an amazing thing. So, that's the other thing is that in crises, inequalities get sort of exacerbated. The extreme nature of whatever inequality exists in a society becomes even more extreme during a crisis. And, I'm very aware of the privilege and the good fortune I've had. And it only sort of makes you more aware of how, not everybody is able to deal with this time in the same way. It affects people in different ways, and it's a lot harder for people than it is for me. So I'm incredibly grateful for that as well at the moment.
Michael, thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure. Am I not going to get to sing something from Greece as well?
Do you want to sing something from Greece? We could do.
Apparently, time has run out. Time has run out, Matt. Oh, what a shame. Next time.
Stranded in the driving, and we could do anything you want. We've got plenty of time. Michael Sheen, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Diolch yn fawr.
That's a pleasure. Thank you. And well done for doing it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hello, Luke Evans.
Hello.